if you have one thing that you can say to Jamaica as you take the dive for the last time at the Olympics, the last time of your career, what would you say?
That's quite a hard thing to sum up in one line, but I just want to say thank you for the support, and it's not the last you're going to see of me. I've developed a really strong connection with Jamaica, which was part of my intention when I chose to represent Jamaica, and I intend to strengthen that connection. So even though I won't be here in the pool, I'll definitely be present in Jamaica.
Your third and final Olympic Games, just finished training today. Are you trying to, absorb it as much as you can, given that, this is the end of a very good career for you?
Yeah, I mean, I've been thinking about the decision for a long time, and I was trying to figure out whether I should try and call it a day or should try and continue. And when I qualified for the Olympics, I kind of solidified my decision. I kind of knew that it felt right, because I've always wanted to retire from diving at the highest level on my own terms, and this is the best opportunity for that. So it feels good to have kind of made that decision, so that whilst I'm here I can soak everything in, really absorb it, really enjoy every single moment of the experience, because it is, people say it's once in a lifetime, but fortunately for me it's been 3 times in a lifetime, which is very unique. But yeah, I've been really trying to take it all in and just have the best time, but I'm also pushing really hard in the pool. My standards haven't dropped in terms of what I expect from myself, so I'm working hard to try and get the best result possible next week.
Your co-captain, Shelly-Ann Fraser-Pryce, said the same thing yesterday, that, 5 Olympic Games for her, she doesn't take it for granted. She feels blessed to be there. Yeah. Do you feel that kind of way? Because 3 consecutive Olympics as a diver in a non-traditional sport, I assume that obviously you do not take that for granted when it's achieved.
No, absolutely not, because it's tough to qualify for this. I mean, there's 25 divers here in my event starting, compared to the 70 divers that started at the World Championships, and there's probably more that you can add to that list. So it is the peak of the peak in terms of diving in the world. So to have done that 3 times, to have qualified 3 times, is not easy. There's a lot of really good divers that have never qualified for the games. It's a lot of pressure to dive well in that particular competition. So yeah, you can't take that for granted. Absolutely, it's a huge achievement to not only have gotten here once, not only to have gotten here 3 times, also 3 times in very different circumstances. Rio obviously being my first one where I was just fresh and excited. Tokyo being through the conditions of the pandemic and dealing with not training for a long period of time, not having access to the water, and then this time having to deal with my knee injury and the comeback from that. It's been 3 very different scenarios. Never has it been easy, never been straightforward. So I'm super grateful to be here and to have the opportunity to compete regardless of what the outcome is.
How health-wise are you? Because obviously you had the knee injury. How health-wise are you going into the games? 100% or about 90%? How would you assess your kind of health status?
Yeah, man, physically I'm good. In terms of what I need, I'm good. I'm just older. I'm 29 years old now, so every session is a little bit more difficult, and I have to be a bit more careful with what I do. I'm not as free to just go about my training as I used to. I have to be a bit more cautious and calculated with what I do. I have to be very meticulous with my warm-ups and think about all my prehab, whereas before, I could just come to training and just get on with it. I didn't really have to think about it. So that's been a little change in my mindset, but physically I feel good, I feel strong. And because I can't just go, I have to be a bit more, I have to manage my pool sessions, so I don't get as many reps in, I don't get as many good ones sometimes, but everything is actually in the good place. Everything feels where it should be about a week out from the competition, so it's not perfect right now, but as long as my body's not hurting, then that's good.
Do you feel like you're having a little bit more fun, or do you feel like that you can have fun and just because everybody gets nervous in competition in terms of expectations? Obviously you want to make it to the final, yeah. But because it's the final Olympics for you, do you feel that you can have a little bit more fun in terms of your performances, or is it something that you clearly think about wanting to achieve that?
I always have fun with diving, that's why I'm still doing it now after 20 years of competing. So it's every single training session is fun. There's something that we would joke about whilst we're on the board waiting, or there's always some element of fun, and I enjoy the process of trying to prepare for a competition. But yeah, I mean, as I say, my standards haven't dropped. I take this very seriously. I want to do well for no other reason but for myself, really. I'm very rarely satisfied with my performances, so if I can come out of this like satisfied, then that's a win. And I don't want to feel unsatisfied with my performance. So yeah, I'm really pushing hard to make sure that I do everything correctly, but at the same time, yeah, I'm definitely trying to enjoy myself as much as possible.
We saw that picture with you and Serena Williams,
Yes.
getting a photo at it. Can you tell me how that came about? How you got to be one of the lucky ones to take a picture with one of the best tennis players ever?
Well, you know how Jamaican pins are such hot property in the village. Everyone loves a Jamaican pin. Every 10 steps, someone's asking me if I have a Jamaican pin, and I'm like, no, I don't have mine with me. But one of Serena's friends, while she was having a tour of the village, asked me if I have a pin. I said no, so I then went up to my room. I was like, maybe I can use it as a bargaining chip to try and get a picture with Serena. So I got 2 pins, one for a friend, and then I managed to get one for Serena, and she was happy to take a picture with me, which was very nice.
How was like the match? At least talk a little bit, or just a quick pick and run? How was that experience for you?
It was just a quick interaction. Didn't have too much chat, but she was trying to find the USA pin for me, but she didn't have one, so she found another one. But I was more than happy with the picture. But yeah, obviously I feel like I don't have to tell her that she's an inspirational athlete. I'm sure she knows that. So yeah, I didn't want to take up too much of her time.
Finally, you leave behind a legacy in diving. Have you thought about in terms of legacy, in terms of your career, and now what you want to do afterwards?
Yeah, that's been a part of why I've been comfortable in making the decision, because I feel like I've got something now in my head that I know I want to transition into. I didn't want to be an athlete that retired with no plan, and I've been working hard on creating a plan. And it's not firm yet, but there's definitely opportunities, and a few of them are maybe slightly out of my hands, but I'm working hard to make those as realistic as possible. One of those is definitely continuing coaching and diving. Ideally in the UK because of the structure already, but outside of that, I'm working hard and trying to make diving in Jamaica a thing. I'm going straight out to Kingston after these Olympic Games to do another camp like I did last year. I've got I think it's about 15 people signed up for the camp. Hopefully about 10 of them could take part in a display on the 24th of August at the pool. And on that day, I want as many people to come and just watch the display as possible. I'm not bothered about how many people actually participate in it. Actually, less is better because I can be a bit more specific and a bit more detailed with what I teach them. But as many people as possible to come and watch that, the media, everyone, just to show what diving is all about. And then hopefully from there, that can be the foundation to develop diving on the island. And I can do another camp next year and find someone that can deliver programs or sessions on a daily or weekly basis in Kingston whilst I'm not there. So yeah, that plan is going to be put straight into action as soon as I finish here.